Oh yeah, tough guy. You're going to go to war on the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. You're a man-child. The H-1B visa program is a total and complete scam concocted by the lords of easy money on Wall Street and the oligarchs in Silicon Valley to both initially to just increase profit margins. But there's a darker element to it today, a contempt of America and American citizens, and we're not going to tolerate it.
As much as I hate admitting when Steve Bannon is right, he's right on this. And who he was speaking to there was Elon Musk, who is absolutely a proponent, a supporter of H-1B visas, which bring in foreign high-skilled workers to work in various sectors of the economy. Silicon Valley in particular has really benefited from this. Typically, foreign workers under H-1B visas are paid far less than American workers, even if they're paid more than workers in general. Now, remember, these are high-skilled workers, but Bannon is now going nuclear on Elon Musk over his support for H-1B visas and even swore to personally drive Musk out of Donald Trump's inner circle in a recent conversation that he had with an Italian publication. So this is what he stated during that interview. I will have Elon Musk run out of here by Inauguration Day. He will not have a blue pass to the White House. He will not have full access to the White House. He will be like any other person. He continues that Elon, or he, is a truly evil guy, a very bad guy. I made it my personal thing to take this guy down. Now, again, Bannon's argument against Musk boils down to two basic points: accusations of corruption and, shockingly, accusations of racism. So I'll get into that in just a minute, but let's start with the former. So Bannon accused Elon Musk of being self-serving, insisting that his sole objective is to become a trillionaire, which he's doing a really great job at moving toward that direction, by the way. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. And he definitely did benefit from the cheap labor or cheaper labor that he gets to take advantage of as a result of H-1B visas. Bannon continued, he will do anything to make sure that any one of his companies is protected or has a better deal or he makes more money. His aggregation of wealth and then through wealth, power, that's what he's focused on. And to be fair, there are many elites in this country who have the same goals. Finally, Bannon says, we have been fighting this fight for 10 years. We are going to expose the entire corruption of the American system, of how money controls everything, and hopefully will inspire you in Italy to wake up. So I'm gonna get to the allegations of racism that Bannon threw at Elon Musk in just a moment. But Cenk, with corruption being your top issue here in the United States, how much do you love Steve Bannon calling out corruption on this issue?
Don't make me say I love it, but I do. So look, a lot of people, because of mainstream media and then later the algorithms that drive extremes in social media, got into binary brain thinking. And that's either one side is right, that means the other side is 100% wrong, or vice versa. But here, this realignment is beginning to break people's binary brains. So if you say that Steve Bannon is right, well, that's evil, right? I mean, because he's a Republican and deep MAGA and all that stuff. If you say Elon Musk is right, wait, that's also fascist and racist, etc. But they're opposed to one another, so how do you decipher this? Oh, right, you don't do standard binary thinking. You don't let partisanship cloud how you judge things individually, right? So in this case, when you look at the facts, is it true that Elon Musk mainly cares about his own companies and his own wealth, and that he's a gigantic donor to Donald Trump so that he could improve the state of his companies and his wealth? That is empirically true. There's no question about it, thereby forcing us to say Steve Bannon is right. So it doesn't mean Steve Bannon is right about everything. There are other things where we are at each other's throats, okay? And immigration is one of those. But look, it goes from the minor issues to the major issues. H-1B is a relatively minor issue. But what's interesting is I've historically been in favor of it, but both right-wing populists and then more importantly in my context, Ro Khanna, Bernie Sanders, started to make me realize that the H-1B visas are not being used as they used to. Before, it was when you needed it and you brought in some of the top talent in the world and it helped the country tremendously. Now, Bannon is right that 3/4 of the engineering jobs have now been outsourced in Silicon Valley, not because there aren't great American engineers that actually built those companies in the first place. It's because they just want to pay much, much lower and wages, and because of the H-1B visas, they can. But is Google not making enough money? Is Meta and Apple and Tesla and they're not making enough money? No. Okay, so that's an interesting, complicated, nuanced issue. But corruption isn't. Corruption is plain and simple. And what we were mainly worried about is that the minute that Trump got in office, that all of MAGA would forget about corruption and would forget about drain the swamp. And they'd say, as long as Trump is doing it, we love corruption. Okay, Elon Musk, go buy the government. Miriam Adelson, yay! Buy foreign policy. Let Israel do anything they want because your family donated over $300 million to Trump. But they're not doing that. Instead, Bannon is pushing back against Trump's biggest donors. So please, everybody, be objective, even if it's a person that we have historically fought and despised. On this one, on the core issue of corruption, obviously Bannon is right.
Yeah, ironically, in that same interview with the Italian publication, Bannon admitted that at first he was willing to kind of swallow his pride and his disagreements with Elon Musk because Musk was helping Donald Trump get elected through the money he was donating to Trump's campaign. He said, before, because Musk put money in, I was prepared to tolerate it. I'm not prepared to tolerate it anymore. But Bannon, I think we all understand, right? We're all adults here. We all understand that money doesn't come from the kindness of anyone's heart. It doesn't come without strings attached. And so anytime a big money donor like Elon Musk is providing tens of millions of dollars to a single campaign, a single politician, he's gonna want goodies back in return. He's here to collect his cookies. And one of those cookies has to do with cheap labor for his companies. But he says he's gonna fight back. I don't know what his strategy is gonna be. I think that Steve Bannon thinks he's far more powerful than he really is. Remember, he was ousted from Trump's first term. So it wouldn't shock me if Donald Trump cut ties with him, because Trump is a standard politician when it comes to money in politics. Let's keep it real. He does deliver for his donors. He's a transactional guy. And so maybe Bannon's in for a rude awakening when it comes to Donald Trump. We're gonna have to wait and see. But Bannon also stated that he believes that Musk and the H-1B visa program itself are racist. He says, the thing of the H-1B visas, it's about how the entire immigration system is gamed by the tech overlords. They use it to their advantage. The people are furious, Bannon said, noting that 76% of engineers working in Silicon Valley are non-Americans. No blacks or Hispanics have had any of these jobs or any access to these jobs. And Bannon even went so far as to say that, get a load of this, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Elon Musk are all white South Africans. He should go back to South Africa. Why do we have South Africans, the most racist people on earth, white South Africans? We have them making any comments at all on what goes on in the United States. Strong words. I'm very curious. I'm curious what you think about the pot calling the kettle black. Let's keep it real.
Yeah. So look, both did credit and discredit here. So Steve Bannon has said many, many times that his favorite book is Camp of the Saints. And that shows you his mindset and why I'm never going to fully trust Steve Bannon on anything. If we want to work towards getting money out of politics, great. I love it. I'll take any ally on that. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be cautious about everything else. Camp of the Saints is where the hero of the book murders all the immigrants that were coming to France, right? So anyone who says that that's their favorite book, including Ann Coulter, is a terrible person. And I would be shocked if they weren't racist. But, so that's your discredit. But the credit here is, we always, we said many times on the show, they're against immigrants, unless they're, of course, from Europe or they're white, right? Like Donald Trump's wife. They're in favor of that kind of immigration. But here's Steve Bannon saying, no, I'm opposed to white immigrants too. Okay, and so, okay, all right, credit where credit is due on that one. I'm not sure I fully believe him. He's got a lot more credibility to gain in that arena, but it is interesting that he's calling him out like that. Because this is, look, the interesting part of it that's more important is how harsh this criticism is. So he's saying he's a racist, he's evil, he's corrupt. I mean, this is war. He's going nuclear on Elon. And so, and in that, first of all, I don't think you need all that to point out the corruption, because people who are corrupt aren't necessarily evil. They're just like, hey man, I'm gonna protect my own interests. I want deregulation so I don't have to pay my workers and I don't have to protect my workers, and I want lower taxes, right? You can call that evil, you can call it self-interest, you can call it anything you like. But what you call that person isn't nearly as important as actually fixing the system here, right? But the fact that you've got a right-winger taking the heads off of right-wing donors, that has got to be welcome news. If you don't get that that's welcome news, you're missing it. And then, Anna, I just want to double down on what you said, because it's so, it's the central question of the next 4 years. Yes, but which direction is Trump going to go? Because what people don't realize yet is what you and I have realized, which is that the MAGA base is different than Trump now, right?
Yeah.
And Steve Bannon is proving us spectacularly right, by the way, at least on this issue. And so, is he going to listen to his MAGA base, who actually does not like corruption, or is he going to listen to his donors? Normally, he would just listen to his donors, and that's what he did in his first term. But if you do that this time around, unlike last time, there's going to be some accountability from right-wing media, and that is a new phenomenon that I have never seen in my lifetime. Right-wing media in my lifetime has always done whatever Republican politicians ordered them, and the rich and the donors ordered them, and they would come out and do propaganda. Of course, they should trickle all over you, where the rich should get all the tax breaks. They should have all the money, and then eventually they'll trickle on you, right? And that is the correct Republican position. Yay, donors! And now they're not doing that, and so, or at least some portion of them aren't doing that. So which way is Trump going to go? Is he going to lose his base, or is he going to lose his donors? The correct move, obviously, is to lose his donors, because he doesn't have to run for re-election. And he should go for popularity so you could have a good legacy. But Trump loves money, so that jury's out. And that is 2 runaway freight trains on a collision course, and Trump is in the middle. It is going to be so interesting to see who wins this. Does the Bannon camp win, or does the Musk camp win?
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.